by the way, I had no idea that you turned 17. I thought you were still 16. So happy belated birthday, man. That's awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Something, Cole, that impresses me so much about you, man, for the documentaries and the videos and the things I've seen about your journey, is that you seem so hyper aware of where you're at in the world at such a young age. Like, there's so many people your age that have no direction and aren't as focused as you are. You seem to be so dialed in to your jiu-jitsu journey and your career as a competitive grappler. It's just so impressive to see. Is that something that you feel naturally came along for you, or was there a particular moment that you realized along the way, like, man, I think this might be what I need to do with my life?
Yeah, I mean, I think growing up, I was already a little more mature than the kids I was around at school, and I think a lot of that comes from me being surrounded by such experienced adults and stuff growing up, especially whenever I started training jiu-jitsu, because soon enough I was training in the adult class, and I was surrounded by the adults in the class, and I was like one of the only few kids training. So I would do that class at night. And I remember like just hanging out after class and being around everyone else and like making friends like that. So it was like my best friends weren't the kids at school. It was the guys I was hanging out with at the gym after class, or whenever we go and eat, when we go out to eat afterwards and just hang out. And I think just being around them, there was just a big influence on their maturity on me. And it kind of just showed me that there was a huge difference between the people that I was around at school than these guys I was training with every day. So I think whenever I would go back to school, like I think when I was like 8 or 9 is whenever I really started committing myself completely to jiu-jitsu. And I would go to school, and I knew that my path was with jiu-jitsu. I obviously knew that I had to have a good education and stuff if I wanted to have an academy one day or open up my own business and work with the sport. But I think like seeing those kids, like I knew like they were regular kids, right? I mean, like most people don't know what they're going to do whenever they're 7, 8, 9 years old, like you were saying. So of course I had friends at school. I was always social. I was really friendly. But I knew that my path was with jiu-jitsu. So I was going to school like just so I could get finished and go to train at night. And that was until I started doing homeschool, and I'm still doing that today. And that's so that I can train and travel and do all the extra stuff that I need to do to be a professional athlete within the sport. But yeah, I think that maturity comes from being around such experienced adults, especially now at the academy I'm training at. A lot of the guys I'm training with have been on that same path as me. You know, Art of Jiu-Jitsu is known for bringing up the next talent, and I think a lot of that comes from Professor Guy and Hoffa having been in our shoes, having been in that same situation, and having to pave their way to the top, even whenever they were the only hard workers at the gym in Brazil that they trained at. So I think having examples like that to look up to is really what shaped me into the person I am today.
That's incredible, man. You know, Cole, all I can really help to think about along this whole, from everything that you said, one of the things that really sticks out in my mind is the fact that this is such a great example of why sports and athletic endeavors are so important for kids. You know, it's like you said, you surrounded yourself with much healthier minded people, with people who had goals. Obviously, you're doing a very positive activity that's making you a better person. And I mean, look what it's done for you, man. It's unbelievable. So I think this is just a great case study of why you want to put your kids into something positive like jiu-jitsu or just sports in general. So that's really cool. Yeah.
I think whenever you find something that requires you to have discipline, requires you to have focus and kind of tune out all the extra stuff. I think that's one of the big things that like keeps people from being successful, is like being around the wrong people, being around people that make the wrong decisions. And I think you kind of have to evaluate yourself and see, okay, like, is what I'm doing right now going to lead me towards my goals or going to push me away from them? And whenever you think like that, you kind of create your own path and just eliminate all the possibilities that could keep you from reaching that goal that you have. So that's one of the things that I think has helped me along the way. And that's from the influence of having good people around me, having people that have similar goals, have similar interests, similar values. And that for sure will help anybody that's trying to reach a goal within their passion.